Welcome, welcome, welcome to On Fire to Inspire. I am your host, Aleigha, the Purpose Midwife. I want to thank you so much for joining us this beautiful Tuesday evening. You could have been anywhere else doing anything else, but you chose to spend it with us. And for that, we're totally grateful. Y'all, I'm so excited about tonight and our topic, but I'm not going to jump in. I'm going to thank our sponsors first because y'all know I get excited. So I want to thank our sponsors. I want to thank my big brother and pastor, Ricky D. Surratt. He is the author of Leadership Inside Trajectory. If you are a leader in any capacity, you want to get this on your bookshelf. And you can get it at iworkfaith.com. He's also a John Maxwell certified teacher, speaker, and trainer. So if you need any kind of trainings facilitated, he can customize trainings for your team, for your organization. You can book him or purchase the book at iworkfaith.com. If you on this health and wellness kick with the rest of us, you can go over to Facebook land and look up Dance with Mina, Mena, or Come Dance with Mina, and you will be able to enjoy some Zumba with us. We do Mondays at 6 and Thursdays at 6. If you love line dance, she incorporates that as well, and especially on Thursdays, she does 45 minutes of Zumba, 45 minutes of line dance, and when I tell you, you get your steps in. It's so much fun. It is fabulous. Now, as I thank our sponsors, do me a favor. I need you to hit that share button because by the time we bring our guests on, I want everybody tuned in and ready, okay? And then we have Mom Biz Boss. If you are a multiple operational manager, you're a mom and you are either an aspiring entrepreneur or you are an entrepreneur, you want to connect with these ladies. It's Mom Biz, B-I-Z, boss, BOSS.org. You want to connect with them. I tell you, they have groups that you can actually connect with locally. If you're in Atlanta area and other states now, they're forming, and they have virtual sessions as well. So if you're in a state like me in South Carolina, you can still connect virtually, right? And they have great speakers, great interactions. You can collaborate. You can just learn and glean from each other. It's not about competition. It's about collaboration, right? So mombizboss.org. And then if you are, and I'm not even going to say if you are a woman, because guess what? The women and the men, they have scents for y'all too. So men, they have at least 7 scents. Their body butters and body scrubs handmade by sensational-galore.com. Y'all, want to tell you, they are heavenly. They are beautiful, beautiful smells. Some of my favorites are the Mango Madness and Love Spell and Champagne Kisses. Oh, and Pineapple Paradise. But there are like 22 fragrances for the females and about 6 or 7 for the males. And you can find that at sensational-galore.com. Well, thank you so much to all of our sponsors. Oh, last but not least, how can I forget? If y'all go to onfiretoinspire.com, you can purchase any of my books. We have my children's book, The Teacher's Foundation of English and Spanish. I learned it, but just for me. We have On Fire to Inspire, the book that came before the show. That is, y'all, we just had our 10-year anniversary 2 months ago with that book. Wow. And we have the I Am Inspirations coloring book, affirmations coloring book. And we have the journal, the I Am Inspirations affirmations journal. So both of those tools I use with women and teen girls to help build them up, remind them of who God says they are, despite what the world has said. God has said one thing, and His vision of you, His description of you, His purpose and plan has not changed. All right. So we're going to hop into the topic. Y'all hit that share button so that we can maximize everyone getting this great information. The topic tonight is launch into your next level. We want to welcome our guest, DeShonda Jennings, the excuse breaker. Welcome to On Fire to Inspire. How are you this evening?
Hello, good evening. How are you doing?
I'm great. I'm great. I'm great. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yes, I'm just excited to be here and hop into what we're going to be doing tonight.
Yes, 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 yes. So, DeShonda, I want you to introduce yourself to the On Fire to Inspire family.
Okay, well, I'm DeShonda Jennings. Y'all probably like, who is that? I always tell people I'm just a little girl from the country that just love to doing the outdoor playing. In addition to that, I am a mom of 7. I have 5 beautiful, amazing grandkids. I am the shop. Like, okay, when's she gonna stop? Right. I'm the proud owner of DJ Shining Stars Preschool. I'm also a multiple time author, international speaker, coach, wife, 27 years, and that's who I am. That's who I am.
I love it. I love it. You said you have 7 children?
I have 7 children. Yes,
Did
ma'am.
not realize that. Wow. Now, the topic launch into your next level. What does that topic mean to you, DeShonda?
Oh, that means a lot. Like, I can just be here all night, but I'm gonna want to make sure y'all get the nuggets of launching into your next level. Sometimes, like, we go through things in life and we'll let that stop us. Like, I can't do this. I always tell people I'm like the excuse breaker. So many things has happened through my journey, and I don't know if we're gonna hop into that part yet. But that topic means to me, like when God give you that gift and you scale that gift, it is not just for you. You got to go ahead, keep launching meaning go out and get somebody else, bring them along. Don't just keep all the information to yourself, because we cannot grow the kingdom if all the stuff we've been through, we just like going through it, and we're not telling people how we came up out of it and just staying there. That's going to that next level. So that's where I'm at in this season.
I love it. I love it. So, how did you get the title of the excuse breaker?
Oh, girl, child.
Ah,
Listen, y'all, I be like, okay, let's just be transparent, because a lot of times things happen. I always like to tell people, if you somebody watching this show tonight, or if you're watching a replay, I always like to say, just raise your hand if you know someone who has been homeless before, right? Just raise your hand if you know someone that has experienced sexual assault, right? Raise your hand if you know somebody that has been incarcerated. Raise your hand if you know someone that has had kids that went through mental illness, depression, and things like that. And what I found from that is a lot of times we can either let stuff happen to us and just stop, or we can say, okay, God, what is it I need to learn from this experience? Now that He has brought me up out of this, how can I bless somebody else? We say, hey, God is not a respecter person. Girl, if He got me through being homeless, He can get you through being homeless too. You know what I'm saying? So that's the excuse breakers. A lot of time we're like, stop where we at and be like, okay, well, this happened. And we'll just stop. We'll shut it down. And I can say that because I have done that before I realized who I really was. When things happen in my life, I used to be like, okay. And I just freeze and I just stop and I just pause. But when you know better and you do better and you know who you really are, you're not gonna be doing these excuses. It's almost like a bump in the road, let's say a pothole. Right? You on your way going somewhere, you see a pothole in the road. Are you just gonna stop and be like, okay, I can't go no further? Or you gonna go left? Or you gonna go right, right? You're not gonna just bag up and go back home because you got a destination that you're going to. So that's what I mean by breaking excuses.
love it. Love it. Love it. Now, you said that you are an author, you are a coach. How did you get into these, go from being homeless to owning a very successful brand, in the daycare industry, as well as all the other things that, understanding who you are and then still doing all of that despite what you went through? How did you get
Yes.
through all of that? How you push through?
I would say even being an author is just connecting with the right people, being in the right spaces. And it goes back to knowing who you are. Just like my story is not just for me. If I'm out here saying I'm making impact, I can't make impact keeping it a secret, right? Like even in my childcare business, praise Jesus, I was able to scale that and launch it to a 6-figure home base. Not a commercial building. This is doing it in the comfort of my home. So even in some of my books, I teach other women, hey, if this is something you're good at, this is the passion, this is the skill set, this is how you too can do that. So that's with the books about childcare, because that's making impact. Impact is just not keeping it to yourself, right? We got to go out here. I made it. Let me tell somebody else how they can make it too. Some of my books is like the life of an entrepreneur, because sometimes people may say, hey, I don't really know if I want to move into this space. So with the collaboration book, we talk about what is the pros or what is the cons of entrepreneurship. That way you can make a conscious decision. Is that something you want to do? One of my books is on learning through play, y'all. I do childcare Monday through Friday. So that book is specifically for anyone that's taking care of kids. Whether you're a parent, a grandma, auntie, or uncle, is going to give you creative ways that you can teach our babies, our children, math concepts just by playing. Like, you don't have to have a piece of paper or a cookie cutter worksheet. 1 plus 1 is 2. This is teaching them how you can take a walk in your neighborhood and you can do comparison, tall, short, wide. You teach them the vocabulary to go along with that. You can even count the houses in your neighborhood, little creative ways. And because, like I said, I'm the mom of 7. So a lot of my books, this is something called legacy. So when I'm not here anymore, I want my kids to know, hey, they call me Mondi, Mondi and my Duke, she left this for us. So all of my books, same goal in mind is my kids. They the reason, the why for everything. I have so many books, like so many different collaborations, Pain, Peace, and Purpose. With that book, I talk about how when I had the stillborn baby, how even then how I had to learn forgiveness, because a lot of time when things happen to us, we be holding on to stuff, not understanding that God can't bless you if you're holding on to unforgiveness. So in that book, I share my journey of when I had my stillborn baby. Because it's a lot of women that has been through that, and you're not by yourself. You're not the only one. And I know what it's like for people to tell you, oh, you can have another one. That's nothing that you tell people, right? So it's like so many books. Like, I don't want to take up the whole show talking about the books, but that's just some of the titles that I'm proud and grateful to be have offered and to share my story in those books. I think I did another one, the journey of being a motherhood, entrepreneurship and motherhood. In that book, I share my testimony about how I'm able to balance being a mom and also being an entrepreneur. So I go back to you, Miss Aleigha. So make sure while she coming back in, y'all, make sure y'all share and like, share this out so that someone who needs to hear this can hear it. If you're watching the replay, drop replay in the comments so we'll know who watched the show. Just keep hitting that share button, and we bind up any kind of technical issues tonight.
All right. Can y'all hear me? Can y'all give me a thumbs up? You can hear me? Good, good, good.
Yeah.
So I'm in the midst of a storm here. So I've never had my power blink off 3 times back to back. So I do apologize. Oh man, I hate that I missed some of what you were saying. Oh
That's
goodness.
okay. I told them we binding up whatever technical stuff trying to go out tonight. I just told them to go ahead and make sure they still sharing it and liking it. If they watching the replay, let us know. Put replay.
Yes, thank you so much.
You're so
I actually
welcome.
my laptop is still not connected because the Wi-Fi isn't back up. So hey, you're not gonna allow anything to stop your show. Hey, we got a backup plan at all times. You
Man.
so yes, so DeShonda, in those times of making that mindset of okay, let me shift to another plan. Just like okay, the laptop, the internet is still down. Okay, I got a phone. I got two. Let me, what made you say, okay, let me just snap instead of saying, oh, woe is me. I guess it's over. What helped you to cultivate that I got to get it done um, scenario?
I would say definitely investing in personal development, because you think about it, this same brain that got us there can't not be the same brain to get us out of that situation. So I will always say you have to invest in a coach. For me, mine was, thank God, like one of my friends from back home, Dr. Amy. I gotta shout her out, gotta give her accolades. She helped me so much with understanding who I am. And it took a lot of work. I think you were off when I was talking about that unforgiveness. that was a lot. When I worked through things that I didn't even know that was there, it's like my life just like did a 360. And I was like, oh my God, I didn't even know I was holding on to that. So just
Yeah.
changing that mindset, and forgiving
Mhm.
people, even when you think that they don't deserve it, you still gotta forgive them. Like that's your
Yes.
blessings, honey. So yeah, so just
Yes.
personal development and changing their mindset and investing in somebody that can get you out of where you're at.
I love it. Changing that mindset. We get caught up in trying to be like the world, and you're like, you can't be like that. The Bible tells us to that we need to renew our mind daily. So why wouldn't we want to renew our mind and forgive anyway? You know?
Yes.
Wow, 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 wow. Now, how did you get into the daycare arena, and then because we're going to shift into like the steps of where you were?
Okay. So the how I got into the childcare space, because my background is like business and accounting. And normally when I tell the whole story, it started with my miracle baby. She's 18, y'all. She's 18, praise Jesus. So it started with her. Like after I had the stillborn baby, and then the things happened with the homelessness and all of that. And when I got pregnant with DeShonda, I'm like, I don't want nobody to keep her. Like, I didn't want to just leave her with anybody. And that's when I shifted gears. And I was like, let me just go into childcare. Like, I'm already a mom, but just because we parents, we don't know everything. And so I went back to school and I got a degree in early childhood and I opened up my in home business. And then, how many of y'all know when God bless you, the overflow? Three more kids came behind her. And I was like, okay, Lord. So then after all of my kids got a little bit older, I decided to go back to the same job, this time making a little bit more money. But I still was not satisfied. I don't know if anybody watching you been in a position and you feel like, okay, I know I'm supposed to do more. And the Lord, He has a funny way of pushing you into what you need to be doing, y'all. Like when I say things happen even after that, and I'm like, okay, God, I hear you. I'm running from it, but I know where you're pushing me to. So that's how I got into the childcare space, was because when I tell everybody my miracle baby, she was the one who had me to transition into childcare.
Wow. And went into childcare. How long have you been in childcare now?
I think it's lagging just a tad bit.
Can you hear me, DeShonda?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay. How long have you been in childcare now?
Oh gosh, I started in 2006 when my baby was born. And then after all of my other kids got older, then I went back to corporate in 2017. And then in 2019, I came back into the space.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Now you shifted into coaching and being an author. How did you wear so many hats? How did you get into wearing so many hats after you found out who DeShonda is and that she's not limited to being a mom, a child care owner? How did you shift into wearing these additional hats and wear them well, may I say?
I would say they all go together for me. Like, I'm a mom. It just goes into caring for other people's kids. Like, I know what I would want my kids to get, and I treat every child as if they're my own. I'm very passionate about what I do. So when it comes down to being an author, I'm just sharing my story. I'm just sharing my testimony. So that's not hard to do because that's who I am. Those are the things I've been through. This is where I'm at. So that's just come like easily. And then the coaching part of it, when I realized that there's other people that may want to do this field, but maybe not sure on, hey, is this really for me? And because God has blessed me, that's the thing right there. He has blessed me, and I understand that this blessing is not just for me. And I tell people all the time, we talk about, oh, we want to give back to the kingdom. This is my give back. So that part, the coaching part, it's not hard because I was her. Like I was her that was stuck. I was her that had so many things happening. And just to know that God brought little old me out of this. if he got me through this, and as the word said, he is not a respecter of person. So he's gonna bring you through this, just because if you may have been homeless, okay, listen, that's just a stage you're going through, but God got me out of that. Even being pregnant, staying in a hotel, God got me out of that. And even when I went through what I call like the spiritual abuse, at first I didn't really understand it. If I could be honest, I was mad, I was upset, I was holding on to it. But as I grew, going back to that personal development, I realized that lesson in that, it wasn't that anybody did me wrong. God wanted me to know the word for myself. He wanted me to study. And no matter what man or woman in front of me, I would know what the word says. So back then, I'm like, oh, I can't believe the church did this. But no, it taught me a lesson. And I'm so grateful for the lesson to get in the word, to understand what it means, interpret the right kind of way. So those things, and that's why like people like how you do it. I love what I'm doing. So it's not like a hard thing. I really love what I'm doing. And I do this, I always tell people I do this for real. I think Aaliyah's coming back in. Can you hear me? See, this is some good stuff, y'all. Y'all see how this keep going out, going in, but that's okay. You still gonna get the blessing, y'all. Just hang on there. She gonna come on back in, and we just gonna keep this show going. So make sure y'all sharing it out. If you just joining us for the live, Aaliyah's coming back in. She shout out some amazing sponsors at the beginning of the show. So make sure you go back and watch it and connect with the sponsors. I believe she said somebody had some body butter. I believe she shout out Mom Biz Balls in Atlanta, Georgia. And they got some other chapters be doing collaborations and events. So definitely connect with the sponsors that she shout out in here. So y'all just hold tight. She's coming back in. She shared her books. And I saw a children's book. So if you're a mom, you're an educator, make sure you connect and get one of those books. Yay.
Yes,
And
y'all,
that,
I tell you, the enemy is a defeated foe. This storm has been happening for well over an hour, but it didn't start going, the power and stuff didn't start going out until a moment ago. Because we were talking backstage, we had no issues. And so, one of the features I like about StreamYard is that it's going to mute out all of that stuff, and I'm gonna go and view everything afterwards. So, I tell you. But yeah, we'll figure something out if it does not, that feature does not kick in, okay? But y'all, when I tell y'all this woman has a powerful, powerful testimony, and one of the things that I did, I was able to hear you talk about before it kept throwing me off, was the fact that you talked about you did the work and you understood who you are and you walked in forgiveness and you learned, you looked at things from a different perspective, and that's a different thing, a different kind. See, I tell people all the time, there's not a such thing as failure. There's a such thing as a learning opportunity. So when you
mm,
said they didn't hurt me, that I learned from them, girl. You speak my language. You hear me? You are speaking my language. Y'all, do me a favor and hit that share button and bring the people back on, because somebody needs to hear this interview. And there is a reason why we're having so many issues, because the enemy don't want this to be heard, but it's going to be heard tonight. One way or the
amen.
other, it's going to be heard tonight. Now, DeShonda, did you have any specific affirmations or scriptures or something that you said to yourself in those times where times were harder and you just was like, was there some things that you just used to encourage yourself like David did?
Oh, Jesus. Oh my God, I probably had to do a lot. No, seriously, like my when I worked with Dr. Amy, she did give me a lot of affirmations to tell myself and affirm myself. So that helped me. Then I also, and I gotta shout it out, you gotta give people their flowers. And I also work with Shavannah Moore. And one of the things that affirmation that she taught me and that I still say, and I tell my kids to say that everything is always working out for me. So no matter what happens, everything is always working out for me. And that's an affirmation to live by because everything is always working out for you. So that would be the one that sticks out the greatest because no matter what, everything is always working out for me.
Yes, I absolutely love it. In fact, when we go to Zumba, one of our things is she's always giving us a word, right? And when you've had a hard day or some things, she say, just remember, everything always worked out for me. And you tell yourself in those hard times, you tell yourself in those good things, everything always works out for me. So I love that, DeShonda. So much confirmation. So when Pastor T listens to this, she is going to have a whole fit because she loves it. Um, for the person right now that life is, as they say, lifing, and things have gotten so hard, and that's what the enemy wants to do is distract you with the hard things so that you can just be in a stagnant or just pause, like, let me catch my breath. And it's okay to catch your breath, but you still got to continue to move beyond that. How do you tell that person, okay, you can pause, but don't stop? You got to start back up. What would you say to that person they can't unpause? They're just stuck. What would you say to that person, DeShonda?
I would say definitely you are not stuck. Okay. We can let it happen, but now it's time to move. You got to stay focused on your purpose. And like I would tell people all the time, if you got to take a pause, it's okay to take a pause because we all need a pause. It's just like you said, you can't stay there. Definitely put yourself around people, like even accountability, people that's going to feed you greater. Like speak to your greatness because if you don't have anybody helping push you up out of that mud puddle, you just sitting there stuck not knowing all you got to do is lift your feet up and get out of it. You got to put yourself around the right people. And if I could just share, my daughter shared with me just on yesterday that it was an old sermon for Pastor Sarah Jakes, and that thing so resonated with me when I listened to it. And she did it back in January. She was saying like a lot of the time, almost like a house with equity. Like when we go through something, God, He brought us out of that. And that's the equity that we don't believe that, okay, I'm in something else. Lord, how am I going to get through it? You got to think about him. He get you through it. He don't. God don't just do something one time. When He bless you, it's not a one time blessing. It's a over and over and over. So just be reminded of, okay, I got through this. He got me through that the last time. As Sarah would say, I got equity in this thing, so I can get on up out of here too. So that really blessed my soul. So I say that to say, if you gotta listen to the motivation, listen to the positive motivations. It's going to feed your mind. It's going to help you to renew your mind. You cannot just listen to the negative things. It's get away from that. Or you're going to stay stuck in that mud puddle. And there's too many people out here waiting on you. So you got to move. You got to move.
I love it. I love it. I love it. For the person that says, "Girl, I hear you. I'm ready to move." What would you tell them to do as far as taking that first step to get, taking that first step to say, "Hey, you're moving again"? How would you encourage them into doing just that? Because sometimes so much has spiraled to where they don't even know where to move or how to move. How would you kind of help them move?
I would say, because I always say the term launch, and my L is laying that foundation. And even down to the foundation, it goes back to the word, write the vision, make it plain. Because if you don't even know where you're moving to, where you going? Just like a roadmap. So you got to have that solid foundation. And for me, even if you have to pray and meditate, just to be still and be quiet and hear, say, okay, God, what does that look like? What is it you want me to do? But you got to listen. Like meditation works for me. One of my coaches taught me, like, put my hand on my stomach, because when I do that, take a couple deep breaths, I can receive and I can hear what God is saying to me. So once he do that, if you have to journal, write it out. Like, write it out. It's just like a roadmap. You have to write it out. Yeah, I'm gonna move. I'm gonna move. Well, where you moving to? Let's get real clear on that thing. Like, be real purposeful, be intentional. What is it that I need to do? Because every last one of you have something in you, but you got to write that vision out. What is it that God wants you to do?
I love it. I am scribing right now. Now, so y'all hear her. She said, "Write it out." And I'm a journaler, and I got to get back to journaling. I am that person that I will wake up in the midnight hour, and that's how On Fire to Inspire was actually birthed. The book was birthed. Just hearing the Lord wake me up in the midnight hour to give words of encouragement to people, to His people. Um, Angelique say, "Yes, write it out, absolutely." What would you say to that person who is they're they're on fire and they're just trying to stay in that place of movement and staying motivated? Any words for that person who's just trying to stay motivated?
It goes back to the circles that you're around. Because if
Mhm.
I'm here, like, I'm on fire, I'm motivated, but I still got to have somebody that I can talk to. Not we're not gonna just be sitting here like being messy and gossiping and things like that. Okay, this is my plan. We call it masterminding. We call it bouncing ideas off of each other. You have to have that person in your life. It's some amazing people. I was telling them earlier about the group we shot out for moms like me. I believe it's Busy Boss Mom, Mom Busy Boss. It's
Mom
so
biz
many.
boss.
That's it. It's so many amazing people in the field that you in. You have to connect with them, because you can be on fire, but you just can't be on fire just within your walls.
Right. And by yourself. Because if
Right.
you're the only one on fire and everybody else, they're going to fizzle out your fire if they everybody else toxic. I love it. I love it. I love it. How you've authored how many books now?
I believe we're on 16, going into 17. Yes,
And you have different kinds of genres that you write, right?
I do. I
All
do.
right. What are the genres that you write in?
A lot of them is the self-help books. Some of them is like the motivational books. Of course, I have my children's book. Then I have my books about my educators and, to teach them, if you're in the space of childcare, different things for your childcare business. I have that book. Oh, and my newly launched workbook. How can I forget that? That's for my business owners out there. I don't listen. I don't, you know how, and I that one just got launched. Like I have that book, and it fits right into the framework of launch. It's like a 4-in-1 book for business owners, and it got the self care in there, y'all.
Yes, y'all hear that? And self care too. She says congratulations, and
Thank
yes,
you so much.
congratulations.
Thank you.
Now, did you launch it at the conference that I went to? Was that your
I
launch day?
did. LitCon, South Carolina. I did launch
Yes,
that.
yes, I remember. I was like, I think that was launch day. Yes,
Yep.
congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations, congratulations. There's some powerful, powerful people in that room with so many giftings. I'm excited about that. Now, how do people connect with you? And, if you have some people that say, hey, I want to open a daycare and I want to know how to do that from an expert and then learn from your book. How do they follow you? How do they connect with you?
I always tell people, and I always say go to www.businesssetupnow.com. It's going to connect you to my website. It's going to connect you to my social media because I don't want to give all these different social media links out. So if you go to www.businesssetupnow.com, you can all things DeShonda Jennings from that one link.
Okay, okay, perfect. Anything else that's on your heart to share with us tonight?
I just want to say, like, first, I just want to say thank you for allowing me to come on and speak and share tonight. So, thank you for that.
You're so welcome.
And I just want to say to whoever, like she said, this ain't just for the ladies. The men can be on fire too. Definitely, you got to know you have everything that you already need. It's already inside of you. Okay, like it ain't just. I always tell people the 9 to 5. That is not your legacy. All of us is equipped to our legacy. It does not come from the 9 to 5, y'all. It's come from that thing that God put in us before we were even formed. You just gotta tap in to say, okay, and be still, connect with the right people. Say, well, what is my gift? Like, what is the thing that God want me to go out here and grow the kingdom of God? Because you have it inside of you. You just got to know that, okay? So I just want to leave y'all with that and just say shout out to the amazing Aleigha again and just thank you.
You are so welcome. You're so welcome, and I look forward to hearing from you again and some other opportunities that you'll be sharing. Oh, tell everybody about your. I hate that I won't be able to come support yours because I'm hosting something the same weekend. But tell everybody for those who will be in the. Is it Maryland? Where are you going to be having yours? Virginia?
We just did Virginia a couple of weeks ago. We're going to be in South Carolina.
Y'all gonna be in South Carolina? Is
Yes,
in October?
in October.
What part?
I'm gonna be in the North Myrtle Beach, but the LitCon that you're probably talking about, that's gonna be in the DMV. So if y'all in the DMV, you gotta pull up to the LitCon. Yes, come for that too. I can drop the link back in the chat after of it.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. All right. And your event is October the 25th through the
24th through
27th?
27th. Yep.
24th through 27th. And what North Myrtle Beach?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And that information is on businesssetupnow.com.
When they go to that, I can drop that one in. That's a separate chat. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Gotcha. So y'all, that is for those in the North Myrtle Beach area that will be out there. Also, y'all don't forget, save that date for the reintroduction that'll be here in Gaffney, South Carolina, that I will be hosting that
Yes.
same weekend. I'm doing a 1 day this time. I did a 2 day time. Yes. Well, DeShonda, thank you again for joining us. We look forward to hearing from some more great things from you because God is doing great, and I'm just continuing to uh, thank God and believe God for even greater for you in
Amen.
this
I
new
receive it. Thank
season. You
you.
are so welcome. Blessings to you. So y'all, if you missed any of this, we've had so many technical difficulties in this because there was someone that DeShonda was speaking life into, and the enemy didn't want it to happen. But we are just thanking God in advance for those who were able to hear it and for the playback. Go back and listen to it. I'm going to make sure that StreamYard was able to capture and fix any problems that we had in the when we were having the technology issues, and if not, Y'all, we're gonna make sure that we get this information out. So DeShonda and I are going to reconnect if it did not repair those issues, because we know that someone needs to hear that. So y'all make sure you come back same time next week, same place, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We have another great guest. Tiffany is our guest next week, and I can't remember if she goes by anything other than by day she is a mechanical engineer, and by night she actually does. She's an author. She does motivation of letting little children, um, getting them introduced into STEAM and STEM. Because a lot of children are not familiar. If they don't see anybody that looks like them, they don't think it's attainable. But so y'all come on back, same time, same place next week. Can't think of the topic, y'all. So blame it on my mind, not my heart. All right, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I love you guys. See y'all next week, 8 p.m. on Friday Inspire. Blessings and have an awesome, magnificent week.